Since the dawn of the ages, theists and atheists alike have tried to provide rational claims for belief or disbelief in the existence of God. And today we are going to examine one such claim from 17th century French mathematician and philosopher Blaise Pascal. His argument is popularly known as Pascal's wager. Pascal proposes a rational grounds for belief in God, even though his argument doesn't provide a proof of God's existence. In Pascal's argument, he applies game theory and he says that you must make a choice whether to believe in God or not, even if you are uncertain whether God exists. He also suggests that the potential outcomes should be considered like a wager. If you believe in God and God exists, you gain infinite reward. That is salvation. If you believe in God and He doesn't exist, you lose relatively little, since the losses are finite losses. And if you don't believe in God and God exists, you face infinite loss. That is eternal damnation or hell. If you don't believe in God and He doesn't exist, you gain little. Pascal argues that given these stakes, the most plausible position is to believe in God, since the potential infinite reward outweighs any finite losses, and that the potential infinite loss from disbelief is rather catastrophic. So I'll admit that for many years of my Christian life, Pascal's wager was one of the arguments that sort of strengthened my faith. It kept my belief in check because it used to sound like a very fantastic philosophical argument to me. But then upon close examination, this argument has some serious problems at its heart. Let's look at the first one. Which God do we wager on? In Pascal's argument, he presupposes that the gamble is between the Christian God and no other God. But there lies the problem that there are several other gods like Zeus, Vishnu, Allah, and so on and so forth. And each of these gods have different requirements. So it is still possible that if you wager on the Christian God, you could face eternal damnation. Also, it's an impossibility to wager on all these gods simultaneously because they have contrasting requirements. The second objection to Pascal's wager is that belief isn't really a choice. And there's also a problem of insincerity in Pascal's argument. So let's look at belief not being a choice. So Pascal argues that we must make a choice to believe or disbelieve. But believing or disbelieving something isn't really a choice to be made by us. What we believe or disbelieve is determined by several other causal factors that we have no control whatsoever of. Take this scenario. You cannot voluntarily choose to believe that unicorns or leprechauns existed. Your disbelief of them is fueled by your inability to get convinced of their existence because you think that there's zero evidence or no reasonable justification whatsoever for them. In an alternate reality, the opposite will also be true. At the very best, we can only pretend to believe in something. And in the case of the omniscient Christian God that Pascal is arguing for, we will still be at a detriment for obvious reasons if we do that. I mean, God will see right through our pretense and know that our profession of belief is motivated by our selfish interest. And the inevitable result is eternal damnation anyway. Also, with the problem of insincerity in the belief, we can consider that many religions explicitly require that your faith is sincere based on your love for God and not from some sort of calculated self-interest. So you would be believing for the wrong reasons if you apply Pascal's wager. Even if it was possible to force yourself to believe in God and that God wasn't a supposed omniscient being. Now, the third problem with Pascal's wager we can think of is finite losses aren't really little losses as Pascal describes if God doesn't exist. So Pascal says that there's just a little to lose assuming you believe in God and at the end of it all God doesn't exist. But the issue is that finite losses, Pascal describes them to be like time, money, and freedom, can only be considered as little losses if God exists and subsequently you get the reward of eternal life. In the event of God's non-existence, these finite losses are significant because they would mean that we sacrificed it all only to gain nothing at the end. If this life is all there is, then spending every single Sunday in church for 50 years and foregoing certain pleasures and living under religious restrictions will represent an enormous sacrifice of our only existence. Sorry, Pascal, some of your works are great, just not this one. I hope you enjoyed this breakdown of Pascal's wager. Do well to check my previous video linked in this one on your screen right now. Stay safe. I'll catch you in the next one.